What's up, y'all? You're listening to the Eagles post-game report. I'm Alex Miller, joined always by Robert Cessna. Texas A&M falls 23-13 to Notre Dame to open the season. Cease, twofold reasons that did the Aggies in. They couldn't get anything really going in the passing game with Connor Wigman, and they couldn't stop the run in the second half when Notre Dame really started to figure things out on offense.
Yeah, you hit it on. You got to play complementary football that everyone talks about it, and Notre Dame was able to do that in the last 12 to 14 minutes. A&M wasn't. You got to make big plays. I think A&M's biggest play was 18 yards, whether you to run, to pass. So, I get it. A lot of people are going to be disappointed, but I also I think that's a good Notre Dame team. Now, time will tell, but I thought coming in they were going to be pretty decent. Because I liked listening to what I could tell. Their offensive linemen are very talented. They're young but talented, and I think that talent started showing up. And be quite honest with you, I don't know what you think. I just think Wegman had a real bad game. He didn't look comfortable. And you and I talked, I think like in his third pass of the day, I said, man, he just looks out of sorts, and I think he was out of sorts the whole game.
Yeah, Connor finished 12 of 30 for just 100 yards, 2 interceptions on the night, no touchdowns passing. You mentioned the lack of big plays. You're looking at it. The long play was 18 yards. It was kind of a catch and run from Trey Watson, the tight end. That was his only catch of the night. That was on the first drive of the game, Cease. Talking to Elko after the game, we knew coming into this that Notre Dame had a really good secondary, right? They had the two guys, the cornerback and the safety coming back that we all knew could cause problems, and they did. The guy undercut the interception. That was a big deal, stalled a drive before the half. He overthrew the ball to Thomas, and guess what? It led to the field goal. That kind of was the deciding factor in that game in some way, because it really changed the way not only Notre Dame played at the end of the game, but A&M, talking to Elko, they were running cover 0 on that last drive when Notre Dame really sold out to the run. And Elko said they didn't have good defense on the back end on those final plays that ultimately led Notre Dame to bust that big run up the middle to break through.
But I think, once again, everybody has their own theory, and it's hard when your defense knows your offense is struggling and might not score. And it's hard to win any major college football game, I feel, when one quarterback, you would give him a B or B plus, and you give the other quarterback a D minus probably. It's hard today to win college football if your quarterback play is so lopsided. And I'm not knocking Wegman, because I think, and I like to say, I know he'll get better, but Leonard was great today. His throwaways were great. He didn't make any mistakes.
He didn't get sacked once.
He knew when to run the ball. He was one of the differences in the game, and that big check mark. If you got a big check mark beside quarterback, like Johnny Manziel is honored today, when you have a quarterback that make plays, you're going to win games.
Hey, Elko was right about one thing. There was a lot of talk about how is this Notre Dame young offensive line going to hold up against A&M's defensive line that could be one of the best in the SEC this season, in the nation this season. Elko said, hey, they might be young, but their track record's pretty good. If they feel like a freshman go out and start, it probably means they're probably going to be pretty good, and they held their own pretty well tonight against A&M's defensive line.
Yeah, and the sophomores, you got to remember, the sophomores waited in the wings for a year. They knew what to do. And another thing that I pointed out in my grades is, you got to remember, this is Freeman's third year. This is also Leonard's third year as a starter, not there. But you also got to remember, this is Elko's first game at A&M with a whole new hodgepodge of everything. This is only Wegman's 9th start in a big game when you're playing a number 7 ranked team in the nation. And I thought all along, I put that in my column, is the bottom line is, remember, I get it. A&M was favored. Why? Because the bookies want equal amount of number. The bottom line is, somebody said one team was 7 and one team's 20. I'll take $20 over $7 every time if you give me a 20 and a 7. So, in this case, the 7 is better than the 20, and the Aggies don't want to hear that. But to me, I thought Notre Dame proved they could be a number 7 team.
Well, Cease, we're not going to get you to do the whole rundown on your grades, but give us a tease on what you graded the overall performance from today.
I think I gave it a C+, because here's the deal, is they were 10 minutes away from winning this game when it was 13-13. And I think Notre Dame is good, so you need to remember that. Did A&M have problems? Yeah, but Notre Dame made too many penalties and still overcome it because that's what good teams do. A&M, I don't think this was a bad game at all. They only had 2 negative rushing plays by their runners, not Wegman. Take Wegman out of the equation. 29 positive runs out of like 31. That's pretty dang good. And they did a lot of good things. You know Wegman's going to play better than that. But this is a problem I had with A&M's defense last year and gone back a ways. They don't force turnovers. They don't make big plays. So no sacks tonight, no turnovers. That usually gets you beat.
Yeah, I mean, Torian York said it in the post-game press conference. The number one key to victory that A&M staff harped on them was win the turnover margin, and A&M lost 2-0 on that. Did Notre Dame even? I feel like they fumbled the ball once, actually.
They had a couple fumbles because one time, remember, Raleigh picked up the ball
That's
and turned it
true.
into a 4-yard run.
Yeah, they had one, but he picked it up.
4-yard run. You know, when you fumble, you know it's your day when you fumble and you gain 4 yards.
We'll wrap it up with this. Notre Dame's a team that a lot of people coming into the season were projecting to be a college football playoff team with the 12-team playoff. A&M's a team that a lot of people picking in the middle of the pack. You know, you said it yourself, A&M was about 10 minutes away. They get that third down stop on Notre Dame's touchdown drive. You know, who knows? Maybe the Aggies get the ball to win the game with the game tied. But hindsight's 2020. Point is, do you feel better or worse about the trajectory of A&M's season after tonight's game?
Oh, I feel it's steadily going up. I still think, and I wrote about this is progress because I think Notre Dame is who we thought they were. I think this is a team that's going to make the college football playoff. Now, you can probably say that about 30 teams. So what does A&M do moving forward? How do they build on this? And the next big test will come in Florida when, God willing, Alex and I will be in Gainesville in a couple weeks. And that's what it's a season. It's not a game. Yeah, it'd have been great if Elk would have won and we're sitting there talking and, oh man, A&M's going to be number 12, number 11 in the poll come Tuesday. No, but you learn from your mistakes. I'm still learning from my mistakes. When I look at the paper tomorrow, then I'll correct those mistakes.
Well, hey, that's going to do it for us tonight from Kyle Field. Be sure to check theeagle.com for all of our coverage from tonight's game. We'll see you next time.